Looking for the best aftermarket parts and accessories for your model? Look no further than MCV Products. Bring your models to life at mcvproducts.net. Hey everybody, welcome to Matt's Models and More. Wanted to do a quick video for this Sunday morning just to show you something that I was thinking about. I was in the middle of working on this 1970 AMT Monte Carlo. Just got done cutting out the trunk, which it turned out really nice, really clean. But then I started thinking, I don't know, I know there's some videos out there where people show the mold lines, which I will go around and mark with a black Sharpie anywhere there's a mold line. But something I don't see too many people talking about is actually softening the body lines. And what I mean by that is there's a good example on that fender, and that's not, if that is a mold line, that's an incredible place to put it. I found some other places that were in the back here. Actually, I may have already gotten those. Nope. That needs to be softened. Even though that's part of the actual contour of the body that goes across, it needs to be softened. And then I need to soften some of that. But the edges, and right here on your body lines, from the factory, they don't come out sharp like that. They're usually a little bit rounded over. And I don't mean rounded over to where you can't see the body line, but that right there is extremely sharp. When you can actually see the shadow, the highlight from the light, you shouldn't see that. I was working on this one when I said I need to make a quick video on that. So what I normally do, I'll cut out my panels first, which this one I'm only doing the trunk on. Thought the Monte Carlo would look nice to have the trunk open. Probably going to put a nitrous bottle in there. Maybe, I don't know, I might just do a fuel cell instead and a battery relocate. But going through, and after I do my cut out my panels, I will, clean up the body lines. And there was one right there. I'm not body line, I'm sorry, mold line. And mold lines, for those that don't know, most of the people that watch these channels know what those are. But if you're new, that's really what this video is for, is you want to, anywhere you see a line that does not belong, that's where they were putting those things together from the factory. And they just leave this mold injection line that you want to get off. And sometimes they run down the middle of a car. Sometimes they run in the front. You just got to look for them pretty hard because sometimes they're disguised really well. This kit, I'm actually impressed with this kit because they did a really good job with this mold. And for those that haven't done this car yet, I passed on this car a lot to let you know which one it is. It's actually the 1970 Monte Carlo Lowrider. The box art is horrific in my opinion. It's not, and that's what made me pass on it. Be careful on those. I'm one to learn because the detail in this kit is just simply amazing. It's gorgeous and lots of options, detail galore, well put together. It's got all the fans, everything that's supposed to show, the shrouds, lots of different options. I dechromed everything. Went ahead and put all that stuff in and dechromed as much as I could. But you got, all kinds of different height levels for your shocks. But this is not a kit review on this one, so I'll skip all that blabber, like some people say on my comments, and you know who you are. But yeah, so what I normally do is I'll take a 400 grit soft sponge and I'll just go over the body line, and I just will, not enough to remove the whole thing. I don't want to do that, but you just want to soften it because the car is not that sharp in real life. And some of these areas can get really, really sharp. There's a body line right there, as a matter of fact. I marked it with a Sharpie. And it runs across from there to there, from there to there. So you got to be careful with that one, because getting in there, that's why I use the soft sponge 400. And you don't have to use 400. I tend to be a little more aggressive with it, because I'm going to go over this a lot. Actually, I'll go from 400 to 800, then 1,000. Usually stop at 1,000 before I put the primer on it, because I use the filler primer, and the filler primer will take a lot of those little imperfections out, and then I'll sand the primer down. Not down, but enough to where everything's smooth and looking good. But I wanted to do that quick video just to talk about the body lines of the car and not so much the mold lines. And matter of fact, let's do this one, since we know this one's really sharp. You can see by the highlight there. So let's do this one, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. I don't like to go back and forth a lot. If I see a real high area, I will, but I typically will just do one sweeping motion, so that way it stays even. If I have one area that is a little bit tougher than the other, then I will go back and forth like that. I mean, if this was a real car and it had this sharp of a body line, there'd probably be lawsuits for people getting cut. It's just a joke, guys. By the way, while I've got y'all's attention, I'll do a slight rant. And what's bringing this to my attention is my fellow YouTube creators out there. If y'all have watched our video of the round table, which in my last video I've got a link in the description in it, please watch that. It's about an hour long, but let me tell you, when you get 8 creative people together in the modeling industry that also make YouTube videos, you can hear some funny things. And one of the things we brought up was hate. We get a lot of comments, and this is where my rant starts. Get a lot of comments from people, and some of the people, you'd be surprised with who they are. You would think we would hear these comments from 19-year-olds or 17-year-olds that are idiots and immature. But no, I'm getting these comments from 60 and 70-year-olds, which completely surprises me. Some of them even have channels. So when they give me these comments, I actually go and look at them and read them and look at their pages and the stuff they critique me on. For instance, if you've seen my video of the top selling model kits of all time, one of the videos near the top, I didn't delete it on purpose because I kind of retaliated on them just because of what I saw in his videos. But he literally wrote a comment saying, you blabbered for 4 minutes before getting to the main subject. And I would expect that from a 16-year-old that has no patience and no maturity. This guy, I watched his videos, he's an older gentleman. And he's got a video where he blabbers for 7 minutes about 4 guns laying on his bed. So not to tear him up too much, because he's not the only one. There's a lot of people out there. But we talked about it at that roundtable discussion, and there's a lot of hatred out there, man. It's like, let us do our hobby. Let us do our thing. We're here to teach, show, spread the love. And when you get just idiotic comments like that, I have to respond in the nicest way possible and be the bigger person. But sometimes it's very, very difficult to do. So if you watch these videos, is what I'm saying. If you watch these videos and I do something you already know, okay, that's fine. You don't have to actually take the time to make a comment. There's no need for it. Use that time in your day to go read a Bible verse. My God, I mean, it's incredible that the amount of hate in this world right now. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But that's the end of my rant, guys. So now I softened that up quite a bit. So now if we look at that same angle upside down, you don't see that. Well, yeah, there's a little bit there still. Let me get that. Probably too busy ranting. And I'm sorry to take away from the guys that, you know, I've got a lot of people that follow me, and I appreciate that, and I get a lot of great comments, and I appreciate that. And if you've noticed, I respond to every single one of them, no matter how silly or degrading the comment is. I will always respond, because I believe in communicating with y'all. I'm nothing special. I just have a channel where I want to, you know, discuss the hobby. And I think of different, I mean, that video about the darn top selling kits of all time got a lot of hateful comments on that thing. A lot. Which I was expecting it. I really was. I was expecting it, because that's why I had that 4 minutes of blabber, because I explained it's almost impossible to get accurate data for that, because things are so skewed, such as, you know, sales numbers, and kits are remade and retooled and sold by different companies, and model shows, and I mean, there was so much, and that's why I blabbered for 4 minutes, to make sure everybody understood where I'm coming from. That still needs a little more. It's definitely better. You don't see that highlight as much, and it's still nice and smooth, and it's not harsh to the touch anymore, just like this one. But body lines, very important. Do your body lines, not just your mold lines. See, like these, this is a perfect example, because everybody knows how shapeful a Monte Carlo is, and I absolutely love it. Just gorgeous lines on this car, with the fast back look, and the wide, you know, fenders and quarter panels. I just love it. But you got cars like the 57 Chevy, Cadillacs, stuff like that, that have those harsh lines. So make sure you sand out, not all the way. You just want to smooth it over. You can feel it with your finger. If it's sharp, get rid of it. Just smooth it down a little bit to where it's, see, those both are sharp, really sharp. I haven't done those yet, but those are really sharp on the end. That will cut you. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you letting me rant. I appreciate you letting me show you about the body lines. We always talk about the mold lines, but remember your body lines as well. Go through them. Man, I'm really liking the way this trunk came out. I did slip a couple times, show you some mistakes. It's what happens when you don't slow down. Knife slipped, but that mainly sanded out, and the primer will fill that out too. But that ended up being a really nice cutout for this Monte Carlo, and I'm going to build some jams in there. Already got one, of course, from right here, but I'll you know, scratch build a little latch right here, and then I'll scratch build the jams all the way around. Of course, some hood hinges or trunk hinges. And I'm probably going to display this really high, because I noticed at car shows, if you put them in car shows, if you leave your trunk on or your hood on and you have it this low, if that was like a real car, the light blocks so much of your detail at the shows, I've noticed. And a lot of people will take their hoods off and set them down, but sometimes I want my car to be realistic. So if I have the hinges, I'm going to start popping them up way high. I'm even doing one right now that's got the suicide style. I'm making hinges on my 64 Oldsmobile. But so yeah, that's it, guys. Do your body lines, and until next time, keep on rolling.